I was born and raised in The Hague, the Netherlands. In a family, I had 2 brothers and 6 sisters. My father was a musician. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. I grew up there in a big city, went to school there, met my husband there, and my husband Ben always thought the world had to be bigger than Holland. He visited his aunt in the United States at one time, and he just loved how big it was here. Clean lakes, clean air, lots of room to grow, and so he really tried to come to the United States. We had sponsors that were family members, and we took about 2 years, but then we were able to come to the United States, and we got married in June, and that following December we arrived in the United States. I remember when we arrived, it was December 14th. We arrived in Chicago, and there was Christmas music playing over the radio, and you know, that really surprised us. And so then we went to Minneapolis where our aunt was, and it was snowing there. And the first Christmas that we celebrated with the family, we could not believe the enormous amount of presents under the tree. And we looked at each other and we thought, we're never gonna do this when we live here. And so many years later, we're doing the same thing. Luckily, I spoke English. I cannot imagine people that immigrated that did not speak the language, because that would be so hard to go somewhere and not be able to understand or make yourself understood. Of course, where I came, I blended in very well with the Scandinavian population, and landed a job fairly soon. And really, that first year was the hardest. It was not in the big things, because I knew those would be different, but the hardest were the little things, the mannerisms, how people are polite in a different way. I miss my family. That's the thing I miss the most. Of course, to speak my native tongue and eat the good old Dutch food that I can't always get here. I miss that a lot. But we raised a family here. We have 2 sons that have had opportunities in this country that they would have never had in Holland. Both of them have served in the United States Army, and we never encouraged them to do that, but they really felt they were first-generation American. They wanted to serve. Our son Paul was in the Navy for 4 years, and our son Peter is still in the Army National Guard. They just really had that drive. They wanted to serve their country, and we supported that. I'm very compassionate towards other people that come from different countries, and I try, if I meet them in my workplace, I try to talk to them and encourage them and explain that I came from a different country and that sometimes helps. After all these years, don't feel like I'm sometimes a whole person, because I'm part American, but I'm still part Dutch. So I don't feel I'm totally American, but then if I go back to Holland, I don't really totally feel Dutch anymore either, because I'm part Dutch, but I'm part American. And that kind of is a different feeling. Maybe other immigrants would understand what I'm trying to say.